Hello everyone, it is the 13th of January right now, and we are going to make Mr. Woody his little feast, and then we are going to be making some toast. I am becoming such a little homebody. What is going on? Okay, let's pretend that you didn't see this cupboard like this, okay? I just throw everything in there. There's no sense of urgency or no sense of organization or anything. All right, here we go. Oh, let's give him some of his wet food as well. He loves this, as you know. And then some dry food over the top of that. All right, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great day. I've been loving doing our little morning routines together. This has been very fun. Really exciting. Other juices arrived from that dairy company. Remember, I've been doing like my little Dairy Shots is the name of the company. This isn't sponsored or anything. I just like doing like wellness juices, and it happens to be a dairy company, and I kind of like supporting that rather than just someone in the supermarket. A bunch of new ones arrived today because I've done another order because I go through these things like crazy. So I have another 2 of the original juices, of the original like turmeric, cayenne pepper ones. And then I got another beetroot one, and then I also got another ginger one. So I'm gonna put these in the fridge, and then I'm gonna take the last, oh, he is gorbing on that. And then I'm gonna take my shots from the fridge, and then we're gonna make a coffee. We're gonna make a coffee today. It's all very exciting. We're gonna make our water. It's very exciting. And then, guys, don't freak out, but we are gonna be making our toast with our new jam that we made yesterday. You know what? It was a long process last night. It was a very, very, very long process. However, I'm so happy that I did it because now I have, this jam may be too thick. I haven't even looked yet. It was a completely different consistency. We will find this out together, but you know what? God loves a trier, and a trier is me, honey. Okay, so first things first is taking our juice. Also, do you have a morning routine? I know we've been talking about like what drinks everyone likes in the morning, but is there something that you have to do whenever you like originally wake up? It just kind of like sets your day off in a right place. Because for me, it is definitely kickstarting with my drink rotation and then eating. And I've just been, as you know, I've been loving toast. I've been loving toast. I also have my Kerrygold butter sitting out so that it is a little bit easier to work with on the toast. All right, let's take our drinks, shall we? Let's get our juices out of the way before we can get into our fun drinks. Cheers, everyone. Woo! Oh, it's spicy this morning. Oh my God. I fear it may genuinely be impossible to go outside today. There is a huge rainstorm happening. The weather has been so horrendous in Brighton recently, like very, very, very bad, like unbelievable. And today it's probably reached its worst. Beetroot down, now onto our ginger. Okay, now let's make our fun little water. Now again, I have been talking about this whenever we were in Dublin. I could break up my ice a little bit. I'm literally hitting my ice with a spoon as if I'm like in the ice age when they're like cracking at ice. When we were in the Dublin hotel, I was talking about how I've been seeing online like this trend where it's like, if you're seeing this, congratulations, like you've been nominated to like be Chinese. Now again, it sounds incredibly problematic, but it's a bunch of Chinese people who are basically trying to just teach everyone else basically like their health rituals. And one of them is not drinking like ice cold water because apparently it's a shock to your system and not good for your digestion, but instead drinking hot water, warm water. Let me tell you something, I will drink my hot and warm water as well. I accept the nomination to be Chinese. I see these videos. I love the videos so much. If you're not on TikTok seeing these, it sounds like I'm being really offensive right now, but it genuinely is like a big trend right now. Lemon and hot water. I even saw a couple of my favorite YouTubers talking about it as well. Like it's like blowing up, like these videos have millions of views. I'm gonna be honest, I will drink my hot water, my warm water as well, but sorry, there is something so pristine and beautiful and lovely to me about an ice cold drink that I'm never gonna give that up. Like you could tell me that it's so bad for my body. I do other things that are bad for my body. That sounds bad. I mean like drinking alcohol and energy drinks and the occasional little vape, you know what I mean? But you're telling me ice cold water is where you're drawing the line? Nah, I don't wanna hear it. I'm gonna enjoy my ice cold water. And we haven't had one in a couple days, but we are gonna have a little coffee today. You know, normally I've been going out and getting coffee recently, but again, the weather is way way too bad today. It is way too bad today. Okay, I also changed the water because again, I don't know how long this has been sitting for now because again, I use it every couple days. So much so that it's not even turned on. All right, I love, love, love that sign. So we are gonna be making a little double shot iced Americano as always. Ooh, I like to hear that noise. I like to hear that noise. Oh, look at that goodness. Oh, and it smells. It smells so good. I don't know if you can see all that. Oh, it smells so good. The beans that my brother got me for Christmas are just so ideal and so perfect. Shout out to my brother Josh. He really ate that. All right, and double shot. How loud is she gonna be today? Because she has had a tendency to be quite loud recently. Let's figure out how loud she's gonna be. Oh, she is screaming. She's screaming. All right, some ice has been put in our cup, our double shot in, some water, some sweetener. Love. Also, I have to update you because my landlord did come to my property today, actually woke me up, and also there was like a plumber that came in and it was the first thing that woke me up this morning, and I need to like talk about that experience of being woken up to like a door knock because it is so scary. All right, here we go. Oh, that looks so good, and that is gonna be strong as hell. Yes! All right, I have filled the rest up with water, and I'm gonna put some sweetener in this. Ariana Grande's best album. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. No shit, actually, I was gonna say Thank You Next is probably her best album, but honestly, I think Eternal Sunshine, Brighter Days Ahead is her best album. What is your favorite Ariana Grande album? It's kind of hard for me to pick, I'll be honest. All right, drink combo has been secured. Now time to make some toast. We are going to be making it with Kerrygold butter today, which I am very excited for. Everyone was telling me that I can just butter the pan, so we're gonna be doing that today. But yeah, if you were watching the video yesterday, you will know that I was talking basically about the fact that last night, for some reason, I was sitting editing a video and I just heard like a bunch of like, no joke, it's saying waterfall is obviously sounding very, very, very dramatic, so you're gonna have to hear me out a little bit here. But like, I heard like gushing water, and that's no exaggeration. And I run into my kitchen figuring out like what the hell has happened, and there's nothing happening in my kitchen. I was like, did Woody turn the damn sink on again? Like, what is this mischievous little boy been up to? Oh, buttering the pan is so much easier than cutting it off because it's like melting automatically. Oh, this is so much better than what I was doing before. You know what? But I'm learning each time. And I open my cupboard, my utility cupboard that has all of my stuff. Oh God, it's like melting crazy. Oh my goodness, look at that. It looks like Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. All right, let me maybe scrape some of this off right here, like this like melted bit, right? You can just go in there, and I'm gonna put you back in the fridge. Wow, Kerrygold sticks aren't even that big anymore. This is almost fully melted, by the way, because of that heat. My utility cupboard was abso-fucking-lutely, like, dude, it was absolutely drenched, and the water was coming sideways from the ceiling, and I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if there was a leak or whatever, but it turns out that basically the property above mine, I think that is their like shower room above, and they were having a leak, and I think that the leak continued, and then it came down into my flat, and that was where my utility cupboard was. And yeah, it basically like flooded the entire fucking room over all of my cables and over all of everything, and it was, I'm gonna turn this heat down a little bit. It was disastrous because it was literally like fucking raining on my electrical circuit, and my flat could have, all of the power could have went out, and I didn't even know if upstairs were aware of it. And I had contacted the out of hours number, and they were like, basically they were like, hey girl, I mean, we're just the out of hours number, like this is just my first day on the job. And so I was like, right, no worries. So thank God nothing bad happened to my apartment, but I had let the security of the apartment building know, and then they ended up telling my landlord, and then I went to bed super late last night, like very late, very, very, very late. I think I went to bed at 9 a.m. and I get woken up at 10:30, like 10:30, and it is like boom, 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 boom on the door, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Must be a package or something. So I go, and I'm like in my boxers, and I run to the peephole, and I look, and I'm like, oh, someone's holding paperwork, and someone's holding like a bucket and stuff. I'm like, shit, 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 they've sent them out. And so anyways, I run to get dressed and they're knocking again. And I'm like trying to find an outfit. Like I'm trying to like put something on and I'm trying, like it's so overwhelming. It's like such a stressful way to wake up. Like it really is. It's kind of like when you get an Amazon delivery as well and you want to answer the door like looking a little bit presentable. I have people in my life who I know as friends who literally answer the door to like deliveries and stuff like that and they'll be in their boxers and I'm like, I don't know how you do that. Like I really don't know how you do that. Like I need to be dressed. So I'm running to get dressed and then I open the door and he's like, I hear that there's a big leak in here. And I was like, well, yeah, but it's upstairs. And he was like, let me see. Keep in mind, I'm still waking up and he knew that I was just waking up. And hey, at 10:30, like, that's not that bad if I'm just like waking up, honestly, even though I just went to bed like an hour and a half before that. So I show him it and I'm like, look, and he's like, oh, it's coming from upstairs. And he's like, all right, no worries. It seems dry enough. I'm gonna go upstairs and there is no issue anymore. So I think that there was just something that happened upstairs that maybe they leaked something or they were unaware of. I hope they didn't get in trouble. And I mean, they shouldn't get in trouble if there was a leak that is actually something that is inconveniencing them. But that fucking being woken up by a knock on the door will forever be something that is so jarring to me. And I always talk about the possibility of leaving like apartment living and, you know, like fully living in a house. And for me, the security of like apartment living is just something that I find a lot of comfort in. Like, I don't know about you guys, but living alone has always, you know, been great. But there are elements of it where sometimes I get a little bit, you know, scared of the fact that I live alone. And I kind of feel a little bit comfort in knowing that there's so many people living in the same building as me that if something happens, like I could get to someone or we're all in this together kind of vibes. Now, I used to live in a house a couple years ago and I lived there by myself and it was a horrible experience. It was a horrible renting experience. I think I may have talked about it before, but it was a horrible, horrible, horrible experience. Do I want to dive into that? Because I'll dive into all that. It was truly like one of the worst experiences of my entire life. And I may dive into it in a second and do a full story time on it because it was brutal and like a horrifying experience. But it was my first time renting with a private landlord, so I was dealing directly with my landlord. And he was a creep. He was a weirdo. He treated me so poorly. He was so discriminatory towards me. It was a terrible situation. I ended up having to buy myself out of a contract that didn't have a break clause. And so the deal was that I had to pay like the remaining 6 months rent and also pay him a huge fine on top of it because he made me so uncomfortable and put me in such a bad position that I felt forced to move out of the house. But aside from all the problems of the house, you know what? I am going to tell you this story. We're going to talk about it in a bit because I need to fully dive in and give you the full immersive experience of this story about the worst fucking experience renting I've ever fucking had. This guy, he was like a fucking like 80, 90-year-old pest. He was a fucking pest. But anyways, it was truly a horrible, and it put the animals in a horrible position, and it was pretty hard to recover from. And no joke, I do have like a bit of trauma from the experience, and I'll explain why I have trauma with a specific thing that happened that now I forever get very, very, very triggered at the talk of it or the thought of it. It'll make sense whenever I talk about it. But another thing was I immediately kind of regretted going into a private rental, which was a house. Like I was living in a cul-de-sac. Do you guys use the word cul-de-sac? Like it's just a bunch of houses. I was living in a cul-de-sac with a bunch of families, and the reason I did it was because I was, you know, thinking that, oh, I should, you know, rent a house. It's good for the dogs. It gives them a garden, all of the rest. And I made this decision, and it was maybe like 20 minutes away from where I live now. Like it was kind of outside of Brighton, but I thought that it would have been for the best. I was very young. I needed to get out of my other first apartment. So I moved in here, and really quickly, the security of living in a house, I just felt so much more in danger. I felt like if something would happen more, I don't know, the idea of living in a house, it felt scarier to me that someone was gonna like break in rather than living in an apartment on like a specific floor. I don't know if that is just all in my head and there's the same level. I mean, if someone wants to get in, they can get in, you know what I mean? But for me, and specifically being that age, and I got COVID a bunch of times while I lived in that house as well, so I was constantly sick, and then there were other issues with it again. Trust, we'll get into it. I want to enjoy I want to enjoy my little key with you here without getting into the negativity, but trust, this story is fucking crazy. So anyways, I like living in apartments as well because if something goes wrong, it's not my responsibility. It's not my responsibility. And you guys know that I live as well back home. Like, I have the house that I bought back home, and that's where I, you know, normally base myself out of. And it's crazy to me as well, like, if something like, there was an issue with the ceiling in the kitchen where it like caved in and it needed to be like, we needed to like cut it, well, they need to cut a hole in the ceiling and then plaster it up, but it kept leaking and then they had to keep doing it. And it was like, who's gonna take care of that? You know what I mean? There's no landlord to call. That's me. So I look around at my friends, specifically my friend Rachel. I'm so happy for her and her fiance Harley, because she's an engaged girly. Good for her. You know, they just bought a house in Brighton, which is crazy to me. Like, that's bouge. Like, I don't think I would ever buy a house in Brighton. First of all, way too expensive, unattainable, you know. And also the idea with like buying a house is so unattainable in 2026. It's so unattainable. But also, I think the thing that I always struggled with, if in a perfect world, I saw this thing where it was like a certain amount of, was it like 9 out of 10 or like 90% or something of like people a certain age in China like own their homes? Isn't that such a crazy concept? So in a world in which like everyone owned their own homes, there's always something to me when it comes to like, you have to fix everything yourself, which is something I never acknowledged or realized myself. And also I think that renting as well is like so scammy, and property agents, you know, like there's so many messes. Luckily the ones I have right now have been really great to me. They've been really great to me, honestly, probably be my favorite ones. And anyways, with this full concept of like living somewhere and buying a property as well, if in an ideal world it was attainable for everyone to own their property and stuff, I'm like, how do you choose where you want to like settle down? And I did see someone talk about this before, and my cousin ended up buying a property in London and then selling it because she didn't want to live in London once she had finally had a place. And this is like so common that I hear from people, and I wonder if anyone has any experiences here, which is like, if you settle down somewhere, but then you've invested everything, and what if you don't want to live there anymore? You know, you can't just pack up. So that I love the idea of like, of that. I love being a free spirit. Was that a good example of that? I love being a free spirit. I love being able to, you know, not have to like pick where I'm settling down. You know, that's why I travel back so much with like home and stuff like that, and why I'm constantly traveling as well. It's just because like there hasn't been a place yet where I'm like, oh, I want to settle down here. You know, I don't want to settle down in Brighton. I don't want to settle down in Derry. I don't want to settle down in, you know, I like haven't discovered that yet. But luckily I just don't put any pressure on it as well. Anyways, all that to be said, they did send someone out today to look at the leak, and it seems to be all good. And cheers to, maybe I should drink some water first. That actually, you're supposed to drink water first. Oh, that is so good. If you're not drinking ice water, you are missing out. I don't care if it's bad for me or whatever. I don't even think it's bad for me. It's just that warm water is better for your digestion, which I can confirm is true. But anyways, cheers to the coffee. Is it gonna be good today? I deserve Coffee Maker of the Year. What is it? Barista of the Year? That is just written all over my name. I also put a right amount of butter this time as well. I think the last time I put way too much butter, but this is looking pretty good. So I'm gonna let this cook a little bit and get a little bit burnty. Now, I am a little bit concerned about the jam, that it's going to be like too thick, because it appeared very thick yesterday. I mean, it looks very thick, but hey, maybe this is the texture that I want. Maybe I should put in less pectin, maybe I should put in less lime juice. I mean, I did absolutely everything truly this time to make sure that this is thick, and from what I'm seeing, she's thick, honey. Okay, the moment that I have been waiting for, the toast is ready. She is burnt and I love it. I'm gonna put a little bit of butter on top just because I love this Kerrygold butter. I'm scared to post a photo of this on my social media, considering the last time I did it, I got absolutely trolled on for people saying that this was, oh, see how easy that spreads? Goodness me, I've heard that before. God, this butter is just so amazing. But yeah, the last time that I posted a similar concoction, I got absolutely mauled on social media with people saying that it was so horrifying that I would eat something like this. Maybe that also had to do with the eggs and hot sauce, but I'm just choosing to believe that people were trying to just cause a problem out of nothing. I don't see this as an issue. If only y'all saw what else I eat, you know what I mean? The fact I like eat like packaged up like chicken that has an expiry date of like a year's time. My body is never a temple. I've never said that. I've never said that. I've never said my body's a temple. So you need to mind your own business. Okay, the bread has been buttered. All right, y'all, it is the moment of fucking truth. I'm just trying to get this butter to melt down a little bit more. All right, jam, please don't let me down, honey. Please don't let me down. I am a friend and you were made with such passion last night. All right, should we see what the texture is like? Oh my God, it's like actual jam texture, y'all. Wait, I think I've done it. Oh my God, wait, look. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Look, it's not just falling off of the, what's this called, a knife? Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Look at that. It was way too watery last time. Oh my God, oh, this is just perfect. Look at that, and it's not falling off. Oh, guys. Guys, it is so serious. It is so serious. Okay, I'm really quickly gonna show my mom, so I'll be right back. My mom was so happy for me. I'm so happy that people in my life are just so encouraging. Like, I do the bare minimum and they're like, well, that's great, sweetie. We're happy that you're happy. Oh, I really am happy. This consistency is absolutely perfect. If Jody Hildebrandt here, she would say that it was divine. God, she is a crazy, crazy, crazy woman. You know, I wasn't gonna post a photo of this, but I feel like I may have to because this is like way too perfect. People are gonna make fun of me again, but I don't care. All right, well, the moment of truth, it may look like jam, but does it taste like jam? All right, let's try it. Cheers. Oh my God. It's perfect. It's so sweet. Guys, we did it. It took us 2 attempts, but I feel like we've gotten it. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm gonna go eat this now. Hello everyone, it is that time of the night. I have just showered and I'm getting ready to film some videos. It is really crazy that it is currently 11 p.m. and this is like when I do my skincare routine, when I do my shower, and whenever I put on like a little bit of makeup. Like, that's just so not normal. And I was talking to Lexi because Lexi has been on a similar schedule as me recently where we have been like working really late and getting ready really late. She messaged me yesterday at genuinely like midnight and she was like, why am I making dinner right now? And I was like, that is so relatable. Anyways, I really want to talk about this landlord situation and this renting situation that I was referring to a couple minutes ago. For you, it's been a couple hours for me. So I obviously moved into my first apartment whenever I was 18 years old and I lived at Brighton Marina, which is the lovely little marina that we have in Brighton. And the reason that I moved to the marina was because the flat that I saw had an ocean view. And obviously, that is like the dream. I didn't really consider anything else about the apartment other than the view. The apartment was nice and a good size, and it was a good price. We were just coming out of lockdowns as well, so rental properties in Brighton were at their low. Well, I know that they're at their lowest because I know what they're at now. So the renting prices were down. The flat, I got it at a really good deal, and I had been toying with the idea of moving to Brighton and moving cities. And then one day I remember being in the kitchen of my family house and I looked up and I saw this and I saw the view and I contacted the letting agent and I told my parents and it was just go, go, go from there. And a couple weeks later I had moved in. It was really that quick. It was that quick. I would love to talk one day about that full process of moving because it was stressful and emotional and I'm sure a lot of people have gone through it. I didn't expect it to kind of be as emotional as what it was. Like, that day leaving was horrible. It really, really, really was. It was the best and worst thing ever. But I lived at that flat for a good couple of years. I really enjoyed my time there, but over time, the apartment started to show some immense wear and tear. And obviously, that is to be expected in a flat, like wear and tear. And I mean, there's wear and tear, and then there's like the fridge not working anymore, and like every day the freezer would freeze over, and then there would be lumps of ice that you would have to thaw out. And I remember one time I went away for the weekend and my fridge had like turned off because like a power went out. Like, the flat was just crazy and all my food was like rotted and stuff because I hadn't, you know, the fridge had been turned off for a good couple days. And once I was in New York, and my dogs would always go to a dog sitter, so they were never in my flat. The way now I have a dog sitter coming into my flat, so the girls' routine is as untouched as possible. Back then, the girls used to go to like this woman's house, and she was lovely. She doesn't do dog sitting anymore, but she was amazing. I loved her. She used to go, Bunny, Bunny, and Bunny still responds to that to this day. So anyways, I wasn't in the flat when I was in New York, and little did I know that my freezer had just like blown, like turned off, and all of the food in there had like thawed out, and all of the ice in there had iced, or had like, what's the word, like de-iced, and my entire kitchen was flooded. And then I remember that the ground around my kitchen fridge was like stained this really like dirty color for the remainder of the time I stayed there, and it was so weird. I could be mopping my floors and everything would be fine, and then like an hour later, the floor would just start changing color. Like the wooden floors were really cheap, they really needed replacing. The wood started cracking off, there was some mold starting in the apartment. Like Brighton has a really bad mold problem, and I was just kind of like, you know what, I've been here for, I think I was there for 3 or 4 years in that flat, and I was like, you know what, like, this flat needs like a landlord job. I don't know if anyone who isn't in the UK or Ireland calls it that, but basically it means whenever a landlord like touches up a property in between tenants staying there, i.e. they just kind of paint over it and make it look nice again. But for some reason it lasts like another 6 months after that before issues come again. So with this flat, it needed that turnover, and I handed in my like resignation, what's the word? Like when you're planning on leaving a flat. I had a couple months to go. I think I had like 2 months to go, and I told them that I wasn't gonna renew, and I started looking for other properties. Now this was before I moved to Manchester. This was probably in 2022, I think it was. I think this is in 2022 or maybe the end of 2021. I can't remember exactly which one. And I told my parents, I was like, I want to look for a house because I'm renting a house. I wanna look for a house that I'll rent because I think it'll be best for the girls to have a garden, all of the rest. Now, I am a very impulsive person. I think that's the right word to use. Like, I act on impulse. If I see something, I'm like, all right, let's put these plans in place. And I saw this house, and it looked really big, and it had a lot of space, and it had a huge garden. That was the main thing. It had a huge garden. So I was like, I want it. My parents were like, don't do it, it's too old of a property, like it looks run down and stuff. And I was like, but look at the garden, I'll work with it, like blah, 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 being incredibly unrealistic. And it was with a private landlord. And I applied and I got it, and I moved in to this flat with a couple, maybe a month left in my contract at Brighton Marina with that apartment. And I was in the stages of letting my landlord know that I wasn't going to be renewing that, and I was simultaneously moving all of my stuff into this new house. And it was this huge house, and it was a very similar amount of rent I was paying on my apartment, because yes, it was a huge house, but it was kind of an inconvenient area, and it was like outside of the city centre, like a 20-minute bus, like 30-minute bus. Definitely a 20-minute Uber anyway to get from there to the city. It was so inconvenient. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just literally like young and dumb, and I was really prioritizing the dogs with the garden, and I just kind of overlooked everything else. But again, you live and what? You learn. So I move into this house, and I really liked it at the start. I felt like such a grown-up, and that was kind of the main thing. Like, I really got like an idea in my head that if I rented this house, you know, I was such a grown-up. I had such an obsession, specifically whenever I first moved to Brighton, to be like acknowledged as an adult by people. And I don't know what that obsession was, but anyways, I had it, and that was definitely one of the reasons that I got the house. And I move into the house, and after a couple days of moving my stuff, I move the dogs and the cats into the flat. So at this stage, you know, I had Bonnie, I had Dolly, I had Tyler, I had Milo. So we all move into the flat, and I can't describe how much I committed to this flat. It was unfurnished, so I started ordering furniture. I ordered these sofas, I ordered a table, I ordered chairs. The garden was great. The dogs came, they loved the garden. They absolutely loved the garden. And then, for some reason, by the way, I want to put not the pink one on today because I literally looked like fucking like Pinocchio yesterday. I was like cherry cheeks, fucking like give me a lollipop and a propeller hat. So after a couple days, for some reason, all of the animals started turning like really evil. Like really evil. And I was like, huh? Like I didn't know what was going on. Like the cats were attacking the dogs and the dogs were attacking the cats. They're eating the dogs. Like they were attacking each other. And this had been so like everyone got along. But after a couple days in the house, everyone started like attacking each other. And it was, as you can imagine, very stressful for me to be dealing with on my own because I didn't know where it was coming from. I put it down to the stress of a change in situation. So I was being like a little bit generous with everyone and I was being very patient. Oh my God, I was so patient. Patience of the Year award, honestly, because it was stressful as fuck. I didn't know what was going on. And then a couple days after that, I wake up one day in the middle of the night in like a striking pain. And it's like, and I felt like I was on fire. And I was like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? I feel like I'm on fire, I feel like I'm on fire. Like no joke, I genuinely felt like I was on fire. And it was coming from my legs, all down to my ankles. And I was like, what? And I literally like uncover my blankets. And keep in mind, the dogs and the cats like slept in the bed with me as well. Like I see no problem with that normally. I uncovered the sheets and my God, I was lumpy all down my legs, all down my ankles. And I was like, oh no, oh no. And I quickly put 2 and 2 together that I was covered in flea bites. I was like, oh my God, everyone is acting out because everyone has fleas. Everyone has fleas, which is crazy because everyone's being flea treated and everyone, like I'm on a subscription, like still to this day, you know, everyone is flea treated on their exact dates. I literally have it in my calendar and I always have because I'm so scared of fleas. Like I really have always been scared of them because again, I grew up in a household we had animals constantly. Like I'm very aware of treating and worming and all of the rest. So I was like, shit. So I check all of the animals and I think it was only Tyler I could find fleas on and I was like, this is really weird. So then I stay up all night and I call my mom in the morning and I'm describing it and she's telling my dad and my dad's like, I think this sounds like bed bugs. Like I feel like this sounds like bed bugs. So I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So anyways, I do some like looking around the flat and obviously you can't see anything because these things are, you know, small as hell. Anyways, the next day I go to bed again and I wake up the next day and I'm covered again. Now the place was carpeted a lot as well. Now to kind of cut a long story short, the place was infested. I still get so angry to this day. The place was infested. The place was infested with bed bugs and with fleas. The carpets upstairs infested with fucking bed bugs and with fleas. And also, there were other things as well, but I forget exactly which and what the names. So basically, I contact the landlord and I'm like, what is going on? And he's like, no, that's you, that's your animals are dirty, blah, 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 whatever. Now, I remember that I was in such agony and he kept telling me it was my fault that I literally one day knocked on my neighbor's door and said, who lived in this place before me? And they told me the person that lived there. And they said that they were having constant issues with them because they had these big dogs that would chew through the gates at the back of the garden and would constantly escape into the street. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And they said that that person ended their contract early. And then I go, oh my God. Oh my God. So basically, clearly the house is infested, maybe from their dogs, or maybe it wasn't their dogs. Maybe it was something before them and their dogs are victims of it too. But there's also bed bugs in this place. So I confront my landlord on the fact that there were dogs in the property before, and he was like, oh, I thought I mentioned that. Now keep in mind that this landlord is a white man. He is about, youngest he is, generously speaking, 70. Oldest, 90. He's an old, incompetent little man. And he was horrible. He was horrible. He was truly so fucking horrible. So anyways, I correct him on the fact that there were animals in the property, but he still is like gaslighting me and it's your fault and your animals are disgusting. So I've already taken my animals to the vets at this stage and they've now confirmed that my animals all have fleas. No worries. So everyone gets deep treated and I end up having to fly my dad over. God bless, he's such a good man. I flew my dad over and we all gave the animals such intense baths, like such intense baths, removing one by one every single little fucking thing that was on them because the place was riddled. If you can imagine that my legs and ankles were fucking, I still have scars to this day, you can imagine what the animals were like. So me and my dad do that and then we transfer them to the apartment that I've been living in. Thank God I still had that. Now around this time is whenever I contact my apartment and I say, I can't leave. I can't leave. Please let me stay. And they allowed me to stay. So now I have to get out of this previous place. All of the furniture I've bought, everything is now infested. So there were 2 different times that I think I had the place for maybe 2 or 3 months, maybe 3 months. There were at least 2 times that I paid my own money for exterminators to come to the property after I had already moved everyone out. And they would like literally bomb the entire place, so much so the neighbors were complaining and stuff, and the landlord would be like, you're not running this past me. And I'm like, I'm paying for a place that you have infested. Like, this place is infested because you have allowed this place to be, you allowed me to move into this place with it being infested. Like, fuck you. Like, you're not the one done wrong here. And there's also something else I want to tell you about him in a second, right? And by the way, I'm literally like 18 when this is all happening. Like, it's so horrible. And thank God my dad came out and helped me as well. So now all the animals are living in the apartment and everyone is good. They've been cleared with the vets, everyone is good. Because I also made sure to give them health checkups because I didn't know what else was in the flat. I really didn't know what else was in the flat. So everyone got the all clear, thank God, Jesus Christ. But the problem is now I have all of my clothes, all of my whatever, moved into this new flat. And my apartment is now empty. But I can't take all of my stuff from the house because the house is so badly fucking infested that all of my stuff probably has eggs and stuff on it now. I learned so much during that time period about fleas, about mites, about fucking bed bugs, about everything. And I'm still, to this day, literally it pisses me, I'm still scarred to this day on my legs and ankles. I remember, dude, being in that house and scratching so hard at all of the bites that I had, and it was true, I would cry with pain. It was so horrible, and this man was such a liar and such a greedy man that he clearly had a previous tenant move out of the flat because of this, and then allowed me to move in with animals knowing that this would happen. Greedy, all landlords deserve to die. Sorry. All landlords deserve to die. So anyways, the situation ends. Actually, let me tell you something else about this man as well. So within the 2 or 3 months that I lived there and the animals were moved to the other place, there were times whenever I would have to go to the house. Like, there were bills going there. I had all my stuff there. I was actively working out of that place as well a lot of the time because I had an office room which was wooden floors, and I would literally go immediately into that room, and I never got bit whenever I would work in there because it was a wooden floor and I really had no furniture in there. I had a wooden chair, wooden desk. I got rid of all my furniture just so I was still spending rent in this place so that I could work from there and I felt like I was making something back. My mom came over one day to the house with me just to kind of see how bad it was, and she was literally appalled. She was fucking appalled. Like, we just knew that it was infested. But anyways, it had a beautiful garden, and me and my mom are sitting outside in the garden, and I am having a meltdown to her, like crying. I'm losing so much money. I'm now paying rent on 2 places. I can't believe this. The gate goes. Me and my mom are sitting in the garden. It's like the gate is here. There's a little walkway, and then there's a little terrace area, and then the huge grass garden. The gate opens while me and my mom are up at the terrace area, so you can't see us yet. The gate's going. We're like, in comes the man. He walks in, right? And he literally, no joke, he doesn't see us yet. He goes like this. There's windows here. He goes like this. Staring in a window. And me and my mom are literally in silence, appalled. He goes to the other window. Staring in, which is the window that was my bedroom. Staring in. And then he walks to the door and then sees us. And I think his name was Tom. Mom, was his name Tom? I can't remember. He's a fucking bitch either way. And my mom, that was the first time she ever met him. That was when she went, hello. And he introduced, and we're talking, basically being like, why are you here? And he immediately launched into asking where my mom was from. And my mom was like, I'm from Derry or whatever. And he started going really in on like pro-British, pro-English, like Derry doesn't exist, like, you know, it's Londonderry, and like all this political, like the war in Ireland versus England and stuff. And so we think he was like a war vet or something like that. And he hated Irish people. And he specifically hated people from the north, like Northern Irish people, North of Ireland people who live there. And then it clicked. He had been treating me so bad this entire time because he genuinely hated me. He genuinely hated me. And also, I had so many suspicions my entire time living there. And by the way, I wasn't living there at this time. I was just kind of like popping in and out. And me and my mom were just kind of sitting in the garden this time because she wanted to see the place. And I remember that I had been telling my mom and dad for so long that like I would go away for the night or I would go away for the weekend and I would think things were moved. But I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense, you know, things, whatever. And then I saw this man with my own eyes hobble in, looking in the windows, and then it clicked in my head. Well, I have no proof that this happened, but I just almost caught him going into the flat, checking if I was in, and going into the flat. And it is my true belief to this day that that man had cameras in the house. Or at least, at a bare minimum, cameras on the outside of the house where he was tracking when I would go in and out of the property, and when I wouldn't be in the property, he would go into the property. I have no idea what he would do in the property. I have no idea. I genuinely, like, I don't know. What, like, go through my stuff, like, I don't fucking know. Try to, like, I don't know. I do not know. I will never understand why this man was going into the property, because I truly believe that he was going into the property. And that day with my mom, I think we were about he was like, why are you looking in the windows? You're the landlord. What are you doing on the property? Fuck off. And by the way, this is after the infestation and me paying for the exterminators and stuff like that. How dare you? Now, that was crazy. Now, you may be wondering, how did that situation end? Now, shout out to my incredible letting agent in the marina, because they immediately overruled the person who was going to move into my flat and allowed me to stay, just because I'd been there for so long. And if they hadn't, I don't know, I would have had to move full-time into that house. And I was in such a dilemma because all of my stuff was in the house. I'd moved so much out of the apartment, but I now had such a fear of that house, like such a fear. And I had such a fear, truly, for a while, of all of the animals and any animal. Because I was so scared now that any animal that I would come into contact with would be carrying mites or fleas or bed bugs or anything. Because me and the animals had literally been traumatized together because of this disgusting, greedy, selfish landlord. Now, luckily, I ended up getting over that, and that took my dad coming out and really showing me that everyone was clean. So, unfortunately, I hate to admit it, is so wasteful, but practically everything that was in that house that was my stuff, that I had been collecting for, you know, years, and so many memories and so many whatever, I hired a skip and this removal company, and they asked what my request was, and I said, get rid of everything. Get rid of everything. I was so unbelievably depressed. It was such a moment of defeat, and I was still paying a lot of rent on this place a month, and I felt like I had been so set up and so used. I wanted everything gone. Everything scared me. Everything that I've ever seen in the house now reminded me of something that would hurt me or hurt the animals. So I got rid of everything. And I remember the guys, whenever I had to let them into the property, they were like, everything, like I, you know, so many new things and stuff like that, like so much new furniture, and I was like, take it all. Like, they couldn't believe it. But I was so genuinely traumatized of every single thing that was in that property. Now, my living situation obviously was able to be okay because I had the other apartment, but how did I get out of that house situation? It was a year contract. I was only a couple months into it. So when I confront this man yet again on, I want to get out of this contract, you are a horrible person, this place is infested, you're a terrible landlord, you're greedy, all these different things, saying it in a much nicer way, professionally, over an email, by the way, because keep in mind, we're also speaking through a property agent at this stage now, because it was basically what happens when you want like a break clause or whatever. But I had his number, and you know, we would text whenever he needed something with the property, or I guess whenever he fucking wanted to know when I was in, because he used to ask me when I would go on trips. He used to ask me when I would go on trips, and I would tell him. I would literally tell him. When I would go to Paris, and he was going through the flat. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he wanted. I'll never know. I'll never know, and I don't want to know because it's in the past. So he flat out refused to deal with the ramifications of me wanting out of the contract. So my property agent lets me know that I will now be dealing with his daughter moving forward. Oh, where have you been, babe, this entire time? So the daughter takes over communication and basically says, you're in a year contract. You signed a year. You will pay us a year. They were like, they gave me an option. They were like, you can stay in the contract and pay until month by month until you need to move out, or you can pay us the remaining of the year payments and hand over the property now. Both options, you're getting your full year of payment. And the second one, which you're offering as a good example, means that I'm paying you an entire year's worth of living somewhere and then giving you the place back to probably rent it out to someone else. Hello? No. So, things got bad with the back and forth. And you can imagine the amount of people that ended up having to get involved, if you know what I mean. And ultimately, it still wasn't a great deal. I had to, break clause, or whatever the fucking thing was, and I had to pay, I think, 6 months rent. They were like, we'll not make you pay a year, but we'll make you pay 6 months up front, and you have to pay, a fee for getting out of this. And there was no way out of it. I had to pay a lot of money for a situation that literally was the worst thing, and I didn't even get to live in the place. It traumatized me. It probably traumatized the dogs, the cats. It made them all fight. Luckily, they snapped back into kind of their routine again in the apartment, and thank God I had that. What would we have lived in, a hotel or something? It makes me so angry how fucking greedy and selfish people can do. He just had that turnaround of that place, knowing it was infested. Infested is the word. Truly infested. And it was also hard going through this on my own as well, because I was on my own this entire time, except for that one weekend when my dad came out. But I couldn't believe that that was the deal in the end. And then the keys were just handed over and someone else moved into the place. Someone else moved into the place. Now, I did hear that apparently the house was knocked down. I don't know if that's true or not. I've heard things. It fucking better be. I'll fucking blow it. I can't say that. But apparently someone moved into it right after me. And now keep in mind, I had done my exterminations and it still wasn't fully fixed. And so he let someone else move into that flat after me. And he didn't do an ounce of cleaning on it. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. It really is unfucking believable. Like, the rep that landlords get, yeah, you deserve it. That was my worst experience with a landlord. I'll never do a private rental again. I'll always go through a property agent because that was horrific. And now I treat the animals on such a strict routine with flea, with mite, with everything, because, and worming as well, because I have such, genuinely you're gonna laugh at me, but I have really, really, really bad like flashbacks and trauma when it comes to whenever anyone mentions fleas or whatever. Recently, my friend Hannah got 2 new kittens and everyone went over to see the kittens, and then Neve ended up spotting that the kittens had fleas, and everyone was so chill with it, and I wasn't there, thank God. But I didn't allow anyone to come over to my flat for so long after that, and I still haven't met her kittens, and they're grown adult cats now. They've been flea treated, they don't have any fleas anymore. I still have not met these cats, and they're so cute. I've talked to them over FaceTime. I don't want to meet them because I have like such scaredness now that like they forever have fleas. Like I also get so scared in that if I'm walking Dolly in like a really grassy area now, like if she's gonna pick something up, or like I like over bathe probably sometimes as well. Like I'm so petrified of ever going through that situation again. But you know what? I never will, because no one, like, I don't think I can come across 2 as greedy people as that man was in my life. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That was my worst renting experience. Now, it was a horrible situation, and I'm so glad to be on the out, and it definitely taught me lessons in terms of vetting where I move into, also standing up for myself. I would do that completely different now. Like, but I was like 18 years old, and I was newly discovering everything, but my God, I hope that man is dead. He should be old enough to be, but my God, that was a horrible. He literally just kind of left me for dirt. He can go fuck himself. But that was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. It really was. Anyways, with that joyful speech, I'm gonna go film some main channel videos, so I'll talk to you later. Okay, everyone, I ended up going on stream for the first time in a while. I haven't been on Twitch in a while, and it was really fun. I was on there for 3, maybe 4 hours, and it is currently now 3 a.m. and I just realized that like I haven't really ate except for my toast this morning, so I'm very, very, very hungry. And I was thinking I don't have a lot of stuff right now. I kind of just have like frozen vegetables, and I have like my little packaged up meat that I buy at the shop that's in my fridge. So I was like, I have maybe some eggs. I was like, let's do some vegetables. And I was thinking in terms of what to do with them. Is there anything fun we could do? And I used to love this like peanut satay sauce that my mom used to make. And I have peanuts, and I don't know what else is in it necessarily. I can look that up, but it was really, really, really good. It was whenever I was like really vegan. I used to love a peanut satay sauce in like salads and hummus and stuff. Okay, so it's peanut butter, soy sauce, and lime juice. Wait, I literally could make this. Wait, I literally could make this. That's crazy. I have all those things. Should I make that? Oh my God, wait. Do I have everything? I have lime juice for sure. Do I have soy sauce? I don't think I have soy sauce. Oh my God, I have soy sauce. Oh my God, I'm trying not to freak out because it's 3 a.m. and it's late. I could literally make this. Let me see what you need for it. In a small pan. I wonder if I could just do it in here. No, I would need to do it in another pan. Okay, wow, things are leveling up. Put the pan on a low heat. Whisk everything together. So that's peanut butter, coconut milk. Oh, see, now you want extra. I have other milk, I think. I don't know if it's in date. Oh, it is. Why does that milk have a shelf life of a year? That feels a little bit weird to me. I feel like I could make this. Should we try also make a peanut satay sauce? I mean, the fact that we have this stuff is like kind of making me want to do it already. So I guess let's do it. Now, I want to use these 2 pans just because there's still jam left in my pot and I don't want to use it. So I think I may use this one for the sauce. So we'll put this right here beside. So again, I'm gonna kind of have to improvise a little bit, but again, that is okay with me. Okay, so I'm gonna be trying to freestyle this as much as possible. 1/2 cup of peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. You know, honestly, I'm just gonna do what I want. I feel like that will result in me probably being the most satisfied with the outcome. So I'm gonna put this of peanut butter, and then we're gonna do another one of peanut butter, considering this is a peanut satay, so I assume we need a lot. Come on, girl, you can get off there, it's fine. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more as well. That may be too much, but see, maybe I want it a little bit more. All right. Oh, it's so drying. They're just so drying, oh my God. So now, I can't believe I have it. Soy sauce. I don't even know why I have this. Let me turn this one on to a low heat. We'll put it at 3. Let's put some soy sauce. Oh! Was that too much? I think that was, all right. We're good. I feel like Jenna Marbles when she talks about her too much gene. I forget if there was lime in this or not. Lime juice. Also some sugar in this as well, wow. I really realized how much stuff is in sugar. I think that should be enough. 1 tablespoon of lime juice, Jesus. Ginger, garlic, chili if you want chili in it. Okay, so maybe some milk and also sugar, I guess. This is almond milk and it's in date for a long time, which feels a little bit strange. Right, let's put some of this in. I feel like that probably makes sense. I'll just kind of go with the flow, and then some sugar as well. Let's put some of that in. Spilled sugar all over everything and my phone. Great. Okay, so I think we should be good. We should be good. And now we're doing something that I was not planning on us doing in the first place. So now with this top one, we're gonna start with our vegetables. Now I have some leftover from the stir fry mix, which I'm gonna put in because it was really good. I'm just putting the rest of the bag in, I guess. And then also what I'm gonna do, just in case I want more, I have another bag of frozen veg. I always keep frozen veg in here. I'm just gonna put that. I feel like that should be enough, okay? And I'm now gonna let this get unfrozen, because right now it looks like this, and it needs to get unfrozen, obviously, and the pan is not even on. That would be a great start. And then this is gonna cook down here as well at the same time. I'll season those after, or maybe I don't even need to season them considering this. Oh, this peanut butter. It is so good. Okay, so I'm gonna start mixing this peanut butter around in this because it currently looks quite weird. And again, it's important to note that I did not follow the measurements practically at all. I mean, not at all. I didn't, I fucking ignored them. So this is gonna taste how it's gonna taste. If it's too thick, I'm gonna add more milk to it. But again, I was literally just considering before this seasoning some veg, and now we're doing a fun activity. It just doesn't get better than this. I think I may have to put more butter in this. Wait, I didn't put butter in it to begin with. I don't need butter, I need milk. Why would I put butter in this? Should I put butter in my vegetables again? Or is that like big back behavior? Someone said some of my behavior in the vlogs is big back. No worries. No worries. Garlic and stuff in this. Wasn't that what it said? Let me salt this as well. Let me season it. Completely forgot about the seasonings. We're not gonna put black pepper today just because I feel like I put that in everything. we are going to put some crushed chilies in this, because the one my mom made always had spice to it, and it was really good when it had spice in it. So we'll put that in. And I feel like that might be everything I want to put in. Maybe a little bit smoked paprika. I don't even know what paprika tastes like. I just kind of put it in things because other people put it in things. Alright, so we have this seasoned now. Mixing it around. The peanut butter is definitely melting. Oh, it smells really good and spicy. Whoa, I wish you could smell this. It smells really good. It's like spicy. Whoa. I can't believe that, actually. That's really good. Alright, I'm gonna have to put more milk in here because I need this to be more for when I pour it over the vegetables. Okay, I might have to add a little bit more peanut butter. We will kind of wait and see. I was thinking today, for some reason, I have no idea why, back to like my final times in Derry and like the final activities me and my parents were doing, like before I moved to Brighton for the first time. And it's so funny, one of them surprisingly was, this was like a really vivid memory I remember of my parents and I right before I left. I really wanted to get a car, and I remember we would go around car dealerships, and we did it this entire day. And it's so crazy because I didn't know how to drive, and I think I still thought that maybe I would not move to Brighton, so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to learn to drive. But then I ended up moving to Brighton, and I didn't need the ability to drive as much, and I didn't want a car out here. So that was so interesting. But I was thinking that in the pandemic, like when it was really, really, really terrible in like 2020, I remember that I was planning on using my YouTube money that I had made, because it started to become like a little bit more lucrative, like more of a job. I was saying to my parents, like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to spend this money on. Like, I feel like I want to move out. And I remember they didn't believe me. They really didn't believe me. I think my parents thought that I would not move out of their house. I really think that that's what they thought. But obviously they thought wrong, because I was so excited to move out. But there's a butterfly effect in here, because I wouldn't have moved to Brighton at the time that I moved to Brighton if this thing that I'm about to inform you of did or didn't happen. So when I was thinking about what I was going to spend my money on, and I brought up the idea to my parents about moving, we spent a lot of time thinking about moving house from where we were and kind of renting a different house. And now I would be, adding into us all paying rent. My parents would be paying rent, I'd be paying rent, my brothers would be paying rent, so we could get like a nicer place than what we're in right now. So that was the plan, and we found this perfect home, and it was like a rental and all the rest, and it had this huge garden. I loved it so much. I was going to pay a bunch extra so I could have an office. This huge plan was what we had, right? Touring the house, it's fabulous, all of the rest. And then we apply for it, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get it. It was perfect in every single way. Perfect location, perfect, like, dream. And they end up letting us know that we could have the house, but they want to, like, reclaim the house within they were saying, like, the landlord wants to reclaim the house within the next, like, 6 months to, like, 5 years, and get the house demolished and sell the land, because it was a huge acre of land. And so we obviously didn't agree to it, because we didn't want to move our entire family into a house that maybe after 6 months we would have to move again. And I never wanted to look at another house again after that in Derry. I had made my mind up from that moment that I was going to be moving out. But if we had gotten that house, I would have continued living in Derry. And it's interesting to think of where my life would be now, because I would not be here. I fundamentally would not be here. Like, there's little things in the butterfly effect, but this is like a huge one. I wouldn't have moved to Brighton a couple months later. And so this gets me, right? Would I have ever moved to Brighton in this scenario where I'd gotten that house with my parents? Would I still have ended up here in Brighton? And if so, when? Like, how many years later? Would I even be in Brighton now? Is that like a later in life thing? I find the butterfly effect So fascinating. I want to taste this. It's good. It's missing something. I don't know what it's missing. I honestly think it might be black pepper, and I think also garlic, but I'll put garlic in the vegetables. Huh. Maybe it's this. I don't know. There's some flavor missing in it. It's really nice, but some flavor is missing. And I will not be having that. The butterfly effect. I want to talk about it. I find it really, really, really interesting because it's a real thing. Like, I mean, I never can do a normal helping of black pepper. Hold on, Woody's going in the cupboard that I forgot was still open. I don't know. It's like a thing that's real, you know what I mean? Like butterfly effect, like fundamentally it is real. Because it's like, if you did this, how would this affect your day? Or you making a decision affects your tomorrow. That is literally a fact. So the butterfly effect being real, no one can really doubt it. And you can theorize if different things would have happened in your life with or without the butterfly effect. I find it to be very overwhelming thinking of the butterfly effect because it can stress me out. That was it. God. Black pepper is the darling of the world. You know what I mean? Is the darling of the world. I want to put more milk in this. I don't know, I just want like more sauce. I would prefer for it to be thicker. So I don't know how to do that. Should I put some pectin in it? I'm literally not kidding. Should I put pectin in it? Would that make it thick? That's the thing I thickened up my jam. Is used in the preparation of jam and jellies. Oh, I don't think it would work in here. Is there any harm in trying? Yeah, because you have to bring it to a boil and stuff. Damn, but let me tell you, I would have considered that. I really would have considered that. But anyways, I mean, I feel like this is going to taste really good. See, now I'm like, shit, it really needs more peanut butter. I feel like I've put an entire fucking tub of peanut butter in here. This is ridiculous. Goodness me. Goodness me. But anyways, I know that it will be delicious. So, is there anything in your life you think about when it comes to the butterfly effect? For me, it's always moving. Because if I hadn't moved, then I wouldn't be here. But if I hadn't moved, would I have ever visited Paris? Would I ever have fallen in love with Paris? What would my life be like if I had moved to Paris? What would my life be like if I was still living in New York? That gets me. That one gets me a lot, which is like, what would my life be like if I was still living in New York? Because that was the plan. My original visa was for me meant to be staying in America for I thought it was like a year. I can't remember what the O1 visa was like, but it was long. It was long. These vegetables look so fucking good, by the way. It was a long visa, and me and my parents, I mean, we were all under the awareness that I was going to be living in America for at least a year and wouldn't be coming home often. And all right, oh, that was a lot of garlic. I kind of want a little bit more. I don't know why, but whenever I do something too much, I need to put more of it in. But I think about the fact that, like, if I was still living in New York, I can theorize what my life would look like. I really can theorize personal things that are happening around me, all of the rest. But what I will say is I feel like if I was still living in New York, I wouldn't be happy. Because there was something about New York. First of all, I loved living there so much, but there was something about New York that was so unsustainable for me. Maybe it was because I was only there for such a short period of time. I was only there for 6 months living. But I felt the need, because I love New York so much, to do something every day. And now that sounds stupid, but like, I would justify eating in a restaurant every single day instead of making dinner at home because I'm in New York and I need to be in the city. I was spending so much money unnecessarily because I always wanted to be doing something. I always wanted experiences because I finally got my dream. I was in New York and I would go out to bars so often. I was almost going to bars every single night because I would go to a different one each single night, and then I would get to know locals, and then, you know, I feel like it would have been so unsustainable for me to live there. I feel like I probably would not be able to like keep up with doing YouTube. Like I feel like I probably would have started falling behind on edit or uploading and stuff like that. Like I feel like it would have been really unproductive for me. Or who knows, maybe I would have gotten very used to a routine. And maybe it was because my Airbnb that I was living in was a shoebox and I was like living out of a suitcase. And you know, there's so many factors to it. But I do think that the fact that I was only there for about 6 months really kind of affected the way that I acted, because I felt the need to get everything done very quickly. And I mean, I went on so many dates. I saw a guy whenever I was out there. I saw many guys whenever I was out there. Goodness me. And I was like speed running all of them. Because I was like, I'm in New York and I need to catch up. So I just don't know if it would have been beneficial for me to be there still now. And also my friendships with people like Neve and my friend Rachel and Em and Liv and all these different things, Lexi, like I wouldn't be close to these people because I wouldn't have seen them in like a year. Because even whenever I came back and did my London show when I had been living in New York for only about a month, I definitely felt a shift with all of my friends. Not that they were doing anything wrong, not that I was doing something wrong, but like we all hadn't seen each other in so long that like it felt weird to kind of all meet up again because we had so much to catch up on, and like it was almost like we've done so much apart that it felt too long to catch up on things. I don't know, I love all my friends, but it's always weird whenever I am away long periods of work and then I come back, because I feel like there's kind of like this like awkward tension and it takes us a little bit to like get over it. But we always do get over it. But that was one thing as well, that, you know, I got really close to so many of my now really best friends during the time when I came back from New York, because I valued them so much and having a friend group, because I really didn't, you know, have like a full friend group in New York that Hey, Woody is going crazy. A full friend group that I could have like relied on like 24/7 as I do out here. So I don't know. It's interesting to me. I just find it really, I love daydreaming. I don't know if you know that about me. I love daydreaming and I love theorizing about things and thinking about, I love the what if question, because I love stressing out about things and I love overthinking things and I love stressing myself out. I can't stress that enough. So for me, if I get to spend all day being like, what if I did this better? What if I did this worse? Or what if I met this person here? Or what if I dated this person here? Or what if I had a fight with this person? Or what if I didn't go on this trip? Or what if I didn't go out that night? Or maybe I didn't bring that person home. You know, like all these different things, because I love overthinking, and the fact that I can't do anything about it would stress someone out, because, you know, it's unproductive to be dwelling on what's not even real. But for me, I love that because I love overthinking and I love panicking. And this is like an endless way to do that, which is perfect. Okay, so the vegetables are about done. They're sounding good. I put minimal seasoning on them because I'm hoping that the sauce will do that for me. I've turned the heat up on the sauce below me, just so it heats up a little bit, because I don't know if it's actually like really warm or not, and these vegetables are hot, so I want it to match. I'm gonna be honest, I'm proud of myself. I really, really, really have stepped up with cooking with myself. And again, this is something to giggle at. I'm not doing a very good job here, but if you knew what I did normally, which was nothing, just like eating maybe like sandwiches from the corner shop, this is like a big deal for me. But I've been having fun with it, and I genuinely thought I was just gonna be eating dinner with this and seasoned, but then the peanut satay, and I mean, like an angel voice came to the comments and said, do it, Adam. Right, so I'm gonna turn the heat off on the vegetables because those baddies are done. This sauce is very thick, very, very, very thick. So I'm hoping that it covers all of this like nicely. I'm hoping that it covers it nicely. Oh, this is starting to get, let me try it again. Oh, it's really good. I'm getting hints of the soy sauce. Oh, that is very, very, very delicious. Oh my god, Mom, you need to make a peanut satay sauce for yourself again, because these are really, really, really good. Just showing you what everything looks like right now. So we got the sauce right here, then we got our vegetables up there. Okay, I also forgot about my meatballs, so we need to put the meatballs in here as well. But I'm gonna empty the vegetables in here. They look so good. They're definitely overcooked, But again, that was because I was trying to perfect the sauce. I also feel like I made like a good size portion as well. I'm gonna get the meatballs from in here. This is them here, hot and spicy meatballs. So disgusting, 1 pound, but I love them. They're so good to snack on. Oh, and this will go great with the peanut satay sauce. Why does this look fucking gorgeous? Why the fuck does this look incredible? I need to take a photo of this immediately. I'm not even joking, look at this. This looks like phenomenal, what the hell? What? How have I turned into a master chef? I need to be on a TV show. I'm taking a photo before I put the sauce in because I'm scared that this is gonna ruin it. All right, it is definitely thick, I'll tell you that. Over the top. Let's put it over everything, I guess. Wait, this looks good as fuck. I can't believe I made this. And it was, you know, the easiest thing ever to make. I'm not dismissing that. Oh, and I made a lot of sauce as well. This is perfect. You guys have no idea. I genuinely thought I was gonna be doing the laziest dinner today. And sure, this was pretty lazy as well. I'm not saying that expectations are high. And I'm also aware that I'm 23 years old and I should have more skills than this. But I mean, goodness me, look at that. I did it! Wow. Good on me. Good on me, I'm all chuffed with myself. Let me try the rest of the sauce. Oh, it's so good. Here's what it looks like. I'm gonna go eat this, but let me try it with you first and foremost to kind of see if it's good. I need to get my fork, but I just wanna dive in, quite honestly, immediately. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, that is good. Ooh. Oh, that is really good. Oh my god. Oh my god. How did I make this? Oh my god, I'm gonna go eat this. Okay, everyone, it is now 4:16 in the morning and I am really tired. I spent the rest of my night editing videos and working on some emails. So I'm gonna love and leave you now because I'm about to do my skincare. I'm about to go to bed. We are up early tomorrow because Dolly has a haircut very early. By my standards, it's at 10:30, which is very early for me. I'm gonna love and leave all of you. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're having a great night and goodbye.